Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to RFLAN number 62, and welcome to the squads qualifying rounds this morning. My name is Grizzly, and I'm joined here with the beautiful Captain Perth. How you going, Cap?
Thank you so much for having me, Grizz. I saw you guys casting earlier and looked like an absolute hullabaloo, so I thought I'd jump in on the action. But we do have 7 squads here for the squad portion of the PUBG today.
Yep.
We will be broadcasting this game live. This is one of the qualifier rounds. So I believe basically it's a bit of a warm-up match as far as I'm aware. Some of the teams aren't completely full, running teams of 3 to 4, but I think it's going to be ripper.
It is going to be an absolute ripper. Cap, I don't know if you saw it on the screens or live before, but this solos was a absolute cracker of a match. We saw some amazing plays out of Annan, who got number 1, and Woods ended up with about 6 or 7 kills, I think. He was really popping off.
Yeah,
he was doing great.
I saw the sort of the final showdown there, and it did look like a bit of a real sort of titan battle between Annan and Woods. And to be honest, mate, I've seen them playing a fair few RFLANs up to this point, and in the PUBG sector. So yeah, may the best man win.
May the best man win. Now, we can see where the drop is going right now. It is definitely a southern drop, so it's going to favour people who want to head to those hot drops like Mill to Power and Pachinki, potentially pushing down to Military Base if they want to go for a bit of a long drop. But, Cap, when you know that, actually, I'm going to take that back because all these teams have qualified for the finals. So maybe you do take those hot drops on these ones.
Well, look, I think this might be a bit of a YOLO match for a lot of these guys. So maybe we might see some hot action. But, I mean, even with a drop like this, it's cutting the majority of the map in half. You're not having a lot of sort of edge sort of drops. So you've got the potential of the Southern Island
That's right.
and basically everything above it because you should be able to reach most of it. So
yes.
But also with these low pop tournament games, you tend to not see an awful lot of hot drops anyway, or a lot of early, sort of firefights.
That is
tends
true.
to wait for the circle to bring it in a little bit more, so that you get the high density population in that little area.
So the guys that have dropped at Mill to Power, keep in mind that Mill to Power actually has a high percentage of that high priority loot. So you'll often find your level 3 gear there, as long as some better usual general weapons and attachments in those higher quality equipment areas like Pachinki and Mill to Power. So these guys that are dropping there, not my job. Where are these guys heading, Cap?
Well, these guys look like they're going just sort of left to the of the prison, or are they going straight to the prison? No, they're at Mansion.
They're down at the Mansion.
Mansion's pretty good. I tend to go here from time to time. Or are they changing it up?
So there is there 2? No, there is only 1 squad there. So just to keep an eye out, guys, squad number 6 has the Bellamy's. Both of those guys made it to the top 10 in the solos. We know that they can really hold their own in battle. So keep an eye on them. They are going to be one of the squads to watch for taking this out. So we'll see how it pans out. We're going to the looting phase now. We'll see if people can get some good priority loot. What are they looking for to loot here, Cap, in this looting phase?
I mean, I think at this point, basically anything. Like I said, with these low pop games, it tends to the looting phase is extended a little bit. So I think they're just going to be trying to get as kitted as possible, getting their armor, getting a nice AR or sniper rifle, and basically going from there. I mean, this guy's lucky enough to find a level 3 vest by the looks of things.
Wow.
Lucky bugger.
There you go.
But yeah, so essentially I think they'll be looking for meds. Obviously. You need to heal yourself up, don't you?
As you do. Now, the circle has spawned. We can see where it is. It is dead center of the map where these guys dropped at the moment. So you will see the guys having to push over the bridge from Sosnovka military base at the bottom. You may see the green team in the middle there push down to try to cut them off at the bridge. If they know there's people down there, it's a really good choke point to hold them in, give them the clamps as they try to come over that. There's only one way to get into the circle from there, so we'll see.
It'll be interesting to see if anyone does try to hold that choke point. Looking at that team number 10, they look like they're going to basically be getting as much loot as possible by moving and splitting up. And that's another thing with squads, is you have to share the loot pool amongst multiple people. It's good to split up a little bit, but obviously you have the downfall of not being nearby your teammates if you do get into a bit of trouble. You know what I'm saying?
So team communication is key, Cab. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Always is, mate. Always is with squads, 100%. But you can see the guys to the far left on the western side of the map, they're going to have to eventually move in, and they might very well move into that other team that is sort of further east to them. But I suppose we'll have to wait and see what happens.
So it doesn't look like there's going to be any action for a little while. The squads are quite split up around the circle at the moment, already focused on their looting phases. Cap, who are you putting in for favourite for this match? Who do you reckon is going to take it?
Well, I mean, even just looking at the last game, we did have Annan and Minimise in the final two. So, I mean, I'm going to say maybe... I mean, they've taken all of Pachinki, and there's a lot of loot there.
So they are sitting to the far west of town. When they push into the circle... Oh, sorry, I'm going to take that back. We've got the Mineral, the orange team. Number 3 are going to have to push into the circle towards Minimise and Annan's team. We could see a gunfight when they start to push in towards that zone if those guys stay there.
Exactly right. I think Annan and whatnot, given that it's a large... Well, I mean, Pachinki's quite a large area. I think they'll probably be looting there for a while. And with these guys having to move inwards to the east, they're likely to interact with one another. Probably.
Well, what often happens too, if you know there's a squad out there, they might have seen out the plane that there was a squad dropping that way. They can almost act like a gatekeeper to the circle there. They stay on the edge there and watch for those kind of entry frags into the circle, see if they can take out a couple as they're trying to push in.
It'll be interesting to see how perceptive Annan and Minimize's team as to what's going on to their west. I'm not too sure. I mean, obviously, when you're dropping in, you kind of try and get an idea of where other people are dropping so you can sort of have a rough mud map in your mind of where people should be coming from. Yep. So I suppose seeing whether they are actually watching those directions actively will be, you know, what sort of determines how this, if there is one, a fight goes.
Exactly.
It looks like FR Zins. I can't pronounce that name, but looks like he's picked up some little tablets, mate.
So we do have our first weapon drop of the game coming in. It looks like Walex is working his way towards it. Let's see what he gets out. Well, what do you think would be the best weapon to get out of a weapon drop in this stage in the game?
Look, with the low population, I'd probably want the sniper that drops. What's that? The
AMW?
Yes, that's the one. AMW. Yeah, I'd want a really high-powered rifle with low bullet drop. So you know, something that I can maybe take a little bit of a back seat and not have to get too far inside. But we're having a look now. Looks like he wasn't too happy.
Did he get scared out, did he?
I know, I just don't think he found anything that he really enjoyed, unless he found this.
That is an AUG. That is from a weapon drop. No, is it Groza? I think that's... That is the AUG, the A3.
Yes,
so absolutely flexible, amazing gun. It's great long range. You can be swapped to a auto mode as well to really take out guys in close combat. We actually saw the last guy who came second in the last match pick one of these up from a weapon drop as well and really nailed it with that. So
yeah, see, a rifle like this with a single bullet fire is always good if you can find a decent little scope for it. You can sort of, it's fairly versatile in that sense because that way you can use it at longer ranges with the single burst. Also with a single bullet, pardon me, but and you know, be a little bit more accurate rather than trying to you know, with your auto fire sort of you know, slow your bullets down. So you are getting that single bullet fire.
Yeah, the old tap, wait for the reticle to center in and tap again.
Yeah, like I said, you can be a little bit more conservative and you know, have the added benefit of your gun sort of doing the work for you.
So you see Generino here. He has gone on a big hike through the western over to the eastern side of the map. It looks like this team number 3 are going to have to start pushing in soon, Cap. I'm not sure what the timing is. Here we go, restricting play area now. So they are going to have to try to push in. You will see the guys like Woods in team number 1 in the southern part around the military base are also going to have to try to get in over the bridge. Now, it doesn't look like they're going to be pressured to do that, Cap.
No, I'm not surprised, honestly, Grizz. Just like I said before, with these low-pop games, people tend to, you know, sort of stick to looting for as long as possible. These guys are checking the bridge to ensure that there isn't anyone watching. So it looks like they've sent Woods out to go and make sure that there's not too much going on down there, which is a really good move. You know, I think they are pretty aware that they're probably the only ones on the island. They probably watched the drop. And now they know for sure that they can cross that bridge. Well, Woods is probably a little bit apprehensive to do so. Obviously he is. He's gone to have a good look at the bridge from a distance, but it does look like he's sort of testing the waters for his team. So.
I tell you what though, those guys, Woods and the crew that dropped down in Sosnovka will be decked to the rim, I would imagine.
100%, yeah.
They have that whole looting area to themselves, high priority loot you'd expect them to have. So there you go, well, I'm watching Woods now. He's got 6 med kits. He's got a grenade, he's got a bunch of stuff.
Plus a laptop.
Plus a laptop? What does a laptop do?
Well, that's the high-end healing.
Oh, there you go.
It looks like a little laptop, but it's like a suitcase with little stuff inside. Yeah, it's got your bloody gauze. It's got the painkillers.
Oh mate, he'll be flipping that out for sure. See, I'm a bit of a noob, Cap. I'm still learning this game. I'm glad I've got you here with me to call the shots.
Well, mate,
like
I'm not
mate.
much better, so don't you worry about that.
18. Very good, very
but
good.
We do have Fico having a bit of a look around this house here. Again, being early days and with the low pop, it is difficult. Actually, it does look like endgame and...
Have we had a knock?
Yes, we have.
He stacked it off his bike.
Oh my goodness! They are going to be so sad. They're going to have the cavalry come in real quick to pick them up.
Yeah, he's pretty salty because I do believe that the circle. What have we got in the circle? Oh, we've got a little while, and they can outrun the circle. Gee, Woods has pushed up to the north. He is way up away from his team right now.
So you've got Annan and Minimise coming back in to pick up their boys. Bit of a mishap. I'm sure that they're giving him as much. Teasing as possible.
Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, we can't swear on stream.
Nice driving. Yeah, well, I'm not.
Some F words for sure.
I'm trying.
Is there two down there? Wait,
there is two down.
There's two down there.
Yeah, so obviously both on the bike and stacked it. But it looks like we might have some sort of skirmish soon, maybe between Minimise and Adam's team and Mr. Chan Pogi and Twitch WellRX.
Yeah, so up to the north, so 8 and 10 are very, very, very close to each other. And at the moment, we're looking at the weapon drop, right? That is directly in between two teams right now. So you can see Walex is kind of pushing over. He wants to go and check it out, but he just wants to make sure there's not another team coming inbound on it as well.
See, Walex might even be trying to bait it out as well. And you can see Minimise having a bit of a look around. It does look like he's going to be coming on the other end.
Yeah. So Minimise used the car a lot in the solos. He rarely used it to his advantage.
Yeah, so these guys are baiting this. So he does have a decent weapon to be able to get a few shots.
Can Walex punish this, Cap? Can Walex punish this aggressive play?
I mean, he could if he's going to take the shot, but it doesn't look like he's going to. I think they're just keeping eyes on them for now, maybe waiting for them to move up a little bit more, not really revealing their position just yet. I think they're in a good spot to intercept here. They should be able to put a lot of weapon fire down.
They are very aggressive here coming out from Annan.
They probably don't know that they're there now.
Do they know they're there? Well, they are going to get clamped moving up the hill here.
Yep.
Surely.
Clamps initiate. Oh, they're being pretty quiet.
Are they just going to let him go?
Well, see, here's the thing, right, Chris? Now that they probably identified that these two teams are split now, and you might see a little bit of weapons fire.
Here we go.
Okay, a few bullets down, a little bit of damage done. They're going to see the boys getting as far away from this as well. They're not taking this fight, and I think a very, very good idea to do that.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was the correct move there from Minimise and that crew, just to kind of just try to fly by. They knew that there were some shots out, just keep on pushing through. There's no point stopping there.
Teams 10 and 8 are under fire and maybe having a bit of a skirmish in the northern side.
Oh yeah, we do have something happen on the northern side between Monster and...
Definitely a little skirmish in the buildings here.
They're basically on top of each other, Cap.
Yeah, they're in a pretty small area, and it doesn't look like Monster and his boys are trying to push into the zone where the rest of sort of Rick Morton, Citrus 94 is.
No. They definitely know each other are in the area. We might see a gunfight here.
Well, it does look like that they have been firing a few shots between themselves, just based on the map. But you've got Jiggy stuck in the police department.
Yeah.
Citrus is sort of keeping an eye on the entrance there.
Citrus might get clamped here. I mean,
they are a little bit split is the problem. So with Haz's team, they are isolated and located amongst themselves. So, they can pick each other up. It does look like they're looking for an entry point, though. And this is it, probably.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have two guys. No, they're going to split up. They're playing this quite safe, these squads.
Citrus.
Well, you see a nade coming in there. I just want to point out, Cap, that in the last game, we would have had maybe 5 to 6 eliminations through grenade kills.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to utilise grenades a bit more beneficially, and it's one of those things. As the game progresses and people get used to playing the game more often, you see, the less utilised weapons and utility items being utilised like that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And smokes as well. Like, I mean,
look, smokes are always very high in the meta. I mean, especially when the circle's getting smaller and smaller, and you've got a lot of people in a small area. You want to try and reduce that vision of the enemy team, enable you to be able to move between different spots and go from there.
Yeah, and I think it's even more prevalent in, say, duos and squads. In solos, yeah, it's great to hold your cover. Duos and squads, you can use it to try to get a rev off. The enemy don't know where to throw their nades, and just give a bit of all-round confusion. I think it's really important.
Mate. And I mean, it looks like these guys are trading fire at the moment. I think, you know, it's a bit of a 50-50 wanting to be behind. Oh, some nice shots coming from Hazza onto that was like 50. Citrus or Jiggy.
Jiggy is on half health there. We're 13 minutes into a game cap. We haven't had a knock yet, apart from the guys on the bikes.
Well, yeah, it was a self knock.
It was a self knock.
Yeah, it wasn't quite planned. But look, you know, that's what I mean with these low pop games. It does take a little while for the action to begin, just because you need to isolate everyone into a smaller area.
Yeah.
But now that the circle is starting to move in, and we yeah.
Gee, I tell you what, that is going to be forcing those guys on the outskirts to push in. There will definitely be gunfights coming up soon.
I tell you what, Grizz, I think once this circle closes in a little bit more, all hell is going to break loose. Because you're going to have all these teams coming in from every direction moving.
And this is what I was getting at before. That's when it pays off to land at these high priority loot areas, because the teams like those guys that were in the south that landed at Sosnovka are going to be coming out of there with great weapon attachments and really good weapons building into this mid game.
Yeah, 100%, and that's why these games, these low pop ones, you tend to have a lot of the guys, you know, being completely kitted because they've got a better chance of becoming kitted and not having to contest that loot very much.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, one thing about these games is everyone is generally fit out with what they want, and you tend to have everyone moving to the best of their ability, not being sort of subject to whatever they can pick up.
Yeah.
You know, so you tend to see people actually playing their own game. So
yeah, for sure. So you see 3 squads in the middle of that circle, and they are quite happy there, as long as they can probably hold the fort. And then you've got 3 squads that are sitting outside the northeastern part of the circle. They're going to have to push in at some point.
It's going to be a slow move inwards, and as the circle gets smaller and smaller, we're going to see the gunfights really pick up. It does look like the green team is sort of more central, but they are very close on top of each other.
They
probably are aware of each other's presence, but I think they're more than likely to just sort of sit and wait it out.
Yeah, look, well, they know that they've all got a good position. There's no need to push a fight when you've got a chance of dying, right? I mean,
100%.
I mean, they've seen nothing on the kill feed yet, so essentially they know the squads are all still alive, so let's just hold this ground. Keep a really good protection. Now we are seeing the circle move in, so we are seeing a team being pushed right into the circle. This is quite risky for them. They don't know where they're pushing to right now.
Yeah, and I mean, having the blue zone on your bum, you're going to be moving really quick and probably not really taking an awful lot of notice of your surroundings. I mean, obviously you'll be looking, but also you've got a reduced vision because of that blue zone.
That's exactly right.
So they're going to have to be really careful when they do enter into the next part, and you can hear some bullets coming off someone.
So I believe that is Bellamy. That is the Bellamy squad. They're all actually taking a bit of damage from the blue there, which means they're going to have to eat into some of their medical supplies that they have looted. No, sorry, I got that wrong. Bellamy is in the circle. They're looking fine. And as you would expect, they had a cracking solos tournament.
I think you're going to see a little bit of interaction in this northern zone here with Rick Moore and the boys and Citrus and his lads. You've even got Bellamy a little bit further south than those guys. So you're going to see them converging very quickly.
You are. I'll tell you what, Cap. Team number 8, which is Jiggy and Crew, Citrus, they have taken quite a bit of storm damage trying to move down from that northern area. In fact, they're trying to bandage and heal through this storm. They really, I don't feel they moved quick enough to get down from that northern area.
Yeah, and it depends on what kind of game they're planning to play here. Are they trying to make people think that they're maybe not there, or maybe they've taken another route and then come in from behind?
That's true.
You know, even with taking that storm damage, you can use it to your own advantage, make people think that, you know, you won't be coming from that direction because the storm's been there for so long, and then come in and take them unawares.
Yep. I would love to see X-Lob's team push on 19, which is the Shawnee.
I think we're going to be seeing a bit of gunfighting happening very soon.
There's 2 players extremely close to each other.
Yeah, so I think this is Francis. I'm going to call him Francis. Francis and his boys, they seem to be taking up the 2 houses here in this little spot here. Then you do to your east have Slob and Mr. Chanpogi and his boys sort of nestled in there as well. And this is what I was talking about here, Grizz. In that northern zone, if we go back to the map, we can see that you've got those 3 sort of teams, and they're all going to be converging into a similar area once they re-enter the circle. So I think you're going to be seeing something very soon.
Well, what cover are they going to push for? There isn't that much cover they're pushing into, so I agree with you there, Cap. I think there is going to be probably a bit of a firefight. You can play
with the hills and the mountains here a little bit, but it is a little bit more difficult than having a structure to utilise.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think a lot of these, look at these guys, they seem to be setting up and just sort of sitting up on this hill, which is a good idea. And I think they're going to, well, looks like Team 8 might be moving in very soon.
I mean, high ground is important, right?
Oh, most certainly. And in a game like this, having a good view, you're going to be out on top.
Yeah.
But these guys are going to be having these boys popping over the mountain in a second. So you want to hope that Whisper and his boys are watching that sort of eastern side of their team.
Yeah.
Because Jiggy, I don't think they have any idea of what they're walking into.
No, I don't think they know that 3 is there right now, Whisper and the boys.
It doesn't look like it because they are sort of moving a little bit haphazardly through there.
Yeah.
Probably they were quite loud with their vehicle moving in. So I'm sure that Whisper would have at least heard that. But even looking at the map, it doesn't look like, so they don't really have anyone watching that sort of eastern side, which they should do. They really need someone watching that because, we can already see. But even in saying that, we do have some fire coming on from Fico onto Mr. Champogi and his boys. Yep. A little bit of a fire skirmish.
So what have we got? We've got 19 seconds to the new circle now. I think this is going to play key. Now, there is a weapon drop in the southern portion of the map, and seeing where this circle goes could really bring that weapon drop into play. And it
could
be
take a few shots here, Grizz.
Oh, yes. X-Lab. Oh, X-Lab. Here's my boy. What did he come? Second in the last tournament. Or maybe third. He was great.
Slob has done really well at these RF PUBG tournaments, mate. I've seen him the last few. But I can't. To me, on your point about the on the drop, I think at this point in the game, people are just going to be focusing on ensuring that they have a good spot to hide in until this sort of circle. I mean, look at this circle now.
Ooh.
The boys up on the hill, they're going to have to move downhill.
Is there a fight northeast? Those teams are pretty close to each other now.
Not yet. I don't think, but we're all. Oh, yeah, they definitely know.
I think they know each other in the area there.
Scorch HD would definitely have a really good little observational point on these guys moving. Well, they should do.
Here we go. Yep. Seen shots out.
Taking a few shots.
So I quite like Scorch HD's kind of positioning here. They seem to have the high ground. Looking down, they also have them pushed up against the storm, which is going to be moving.
So these guys are going to be gatekeeping a little bit. So it's going to be really difficult for these guys to move out. Bellamy's taken out Monster AU.
Whoa, Bellamy, he is a cracker, that guy.
He's moving in to take advantage of that one player down.
Yeah. Is he going to first him? No. Oh!
Hazard goes down by Goosey. Beautiful
Goosey.
shot.
Absolutely cracking shot.
So it's not looking too good for Hazard and the boys.
No.
Fury.
Yeah, unfortunately they pushed themselves up against the storm. It didn't really have much cover and were downhill, whereas the Bellamy squad had the higher ground. We're able to see their movements and positioning.
Bellamy takes out Monster. Just puts him down. They'll be looking to take out Hazard next. Fury's going to move in. He's not going to be able to help his boy out. He's going to have to move up and try and make something of this.
Yeah, so Fury's trying to get aggressive here, and he has cracked Goosey.
Oh, Fury takes a frag grenade right on the nozzle.
And is that all she wrote?
There goes the boys. Unfortunately, Fury could not make much of that. But we do have some more firing happening right in the middle.
Yes,
and minimising the boys, also gatekeeping that western edge.
Yeah, which I think is such a good play from them. They got really good positioning in that circle to be able to push and keep those teams out on the edges. Just so that constant fear of a circle moving in. You know it's going to come in a couple of minutes, and they're just going to watch that angle and make sure those guys can't get in safely.
Yep, it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the next circle after this one. Just because I think that is really going to make it difficult for teams.
Squeeze them all up nice and close.
Yeah,
you're literally going to have. What's 6 times 4? How's your maths, Cap?
Not very good. 24?
21.
21?
Oh, who bloody knows? You're going to have 21 guys in a small little area. There's a couple of buildings here. And this is what, Team 19, they've got themselves a nice little hold. Actually, they got guys knocked. Yep. They've only got 2 left right now.
Yeah, and Mr. Champogi's not looking too good either. But Woods and the boys, they seem to be doing a decent job. They're right. They're probably as most central as it gets with these different squads. But look at Minimise. They are just laying waste to all the teams trying to come in. They've got a really nice position on that western edge.
We do see some gunfighting. We do see Team 3. Actually, are they in the storm? They're getting pushed. This is the classic thing you're saying, Cap. Really gatekeeping these guys outside of the zone, so they have to fight in the storm. It's just not. It's not good for them. Got to be careful.
They're gonna really struggle now because Minimise have a really good view on where these guys are. Mineral taking a few shots, and that's all she wrote for them, I think.
They got one more in there.
They still got Whisper. But he's very far. He's too far in, mate. He's going to take too much damage. He's going to have to heal through it and also come in against this opposing team. These guys know that not all of them are down yet because they would have seen in the kill feed.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
he's taken some hits. So really, I think the contenders here, I would be putting my money, if I had to bet on this game, on X-Slob, Woods and Benny. Their squad is looking really, really good in this game. Their positioning.
Yeah. Look, even looking at this right now, Grizz, everyone is sort of still a little bit compartmentalised into either central, northeastern, or western edge. They're still going to have to continue moving inwards. I think Annan and Minimise are going to have a real hard time coming in on this sort of western edge again now. I mean, if they get pushed out by Benny and, Wallix and whatnot, like they will just pushed out the other guys.
Yeah, that's right.
They're going to really struggle to get into this next circle.
Yep. And I just want to recap, guys, that all of these teams will make it through to the finals. So this is more of a stamp your territory, show who's boss, and just to give a bit of fear into the other teams when it does come to that finals cap.
But I think this is a really high IQ play for Annan. They're just getting out of there. They know that this is a hot spot, and they've saying, bugger it, we're going to get on, reposition, and move in.
And I think controlling that closed cover, what I'm talking about there is buildings when it comes down to this smaller circle. That's going to be quite pivotal, I feel.
100%. They're going to need to really utilise those structures because in this little area here, there is not much to work with other than the buildings.
Yes, right. So we'll see how the smaller circle is going to work because it might push them out of these buildings. They are on the edge. So the RNGs, the guys from Slobs and even Team 19 will be praying that circle works in their favour. We got Goosey and Bellamy squad sitting up in the northern portion. If they get the circle, they'll be in a fantastic position.
Looks like Woods has been put down by Shawnee.
Oh, wow.
And we have Annan and Minimise sort of returning fire across the way. They've repositioned it in a nice little sort of alcove spot with a little bit of terrain that they can utilise. The thing about being in a building is if you're shooting out of windows, that window doesn't move, Grizz.
No.
Ever. So they know exactly where to shoot.
They know where you're peeking from.
If you have a terrain to work with, you can move and sort of utilise that to your own advantage.
Yeah, right.
You can change up your positioning a little bit more than these guys here who are stuck in this building. And if they've got to come out of that building to get into the next circle, they're going to really struggle.
They are going to really struggle. And you can see is exactly what Cap's talking about. Annan is really ducking and weaving around that rock right now.
Yep.
He exposed a little bit ahead here, pop on the other side, exposed a little bit ahead over here. And he really is just peppering shots on the guys in the house where he knows where they're going to peek from.
Exactly right.
Smart plays.
Yeah, no, I think that reposition by Minimise and Annan have just done a really good job. Actually, we've got so if you look at Slob's team, they've been split in half.
Yeah.
You've got X-Slob and Fick. They're sort of fighting their own battle.
Benny is pushing up into the squad down in the southern region.
Honestly, he is one hell of a man. He is the
He's
Hercules.
got balls of steel, Cap.
Yes, they are definitely some sort of metal alloy for sure.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, personally, I think he's a little bit out of position there.
I think so too, but I think the problem they've got now is they don't know where the circle's going to fall. So maybe they're trying to split it up a little bit, maybe, hold a couple of positions that they can retreat back into, depending on where the circle falls. At least that way they've got a structure to work with. Look, whether this is going to work very well, we'll find out.
That's right. So, new circle. Oh, it has favoured the Bellamy crew. So they are sitting absolutely pretty on the high ground on the northern section of that circle. So you're going to have to see crew like X-Slob and those guys working their way up. And they're getting fired at now. Fick and Slob are getting fired at from Scorch. They know that they're there.
Yep. They're going to have a real hard time pushing through this, and they haven't really got much to run in with. What they're going to have to do is probably work with the terrain, and there isn't much of it. It's going to leave them really open as they move in from the west. Yeah. I think Annan and Minimise have a good little position there. I think that, honestly, that move with the cars was really, really well done. And I think it's going to work out for them because they can start to work with these little sort of structures here, like this little hut. Just quickly move through. It's really hard to hit these cars, especially when you're doing doughies like that.
The big question that I want to know, so Anon and Minimize were 1 and 2 in the solos, Cap. If they can take out another qualifying round victory, I will eat my shoe.
Okay. Well, we'll be able to put that on a special stream, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be able to tune into RFLAN, a shoe-eating contest, and Grizzly Gaming.
I just got these shoes for Christmas too. It's unfortunate.
Well, it is unfortunate, but at least it's going to a good cause, Chris.
It is. Yeah. That's right.
Don't gamble, kids.
So you do really see the Bellamy crew. I mean, they're getting fired at from X-Lob and the guys. We know that X-Lob has the skills. He bagged 6 kills in the last game, so we know that he can deliver.
Exactly right. And here we go. We can see... Actually, Benny seems to be in a... See, here we go. Benny's returning some fire. Benny's still alive. Oh. Wow.
Now, Benny is who I tipped to win the solos, mate, and he actually disappointed me a bit, but he is coming through on this one.
Honestly, Benny's doing a really good job here, and I think it looks like... Has he dropped it?
The thing about it is, I don't think they knew he was there, because they knew the rest of his team was north. Did he sneaky in there just to manage to get the knock on the back line?
So I think they left Benny behind to sort of hold the rear for them in case that they did get sort of moved up on. So these guys are going to have to retreat.
Oh, here we go. Oh, Benny with another one.
Incredible play. And that's what I was trying to say, Chris. If they split their team, it's either going to work really well or really bad. And it seems to have worked really well.
Mate, and that's all she wrote. Those guys are gone. Now, if you have a look at the Southern, they are in a loot drop. I'd be interested to know what they get. If they can get an AWM out of that loot drop, they're going to be able to potentially one-shot some guys trying to move into the circle.
But you've got Francis and Anon and Minimize firing upon the rest of the teams that are here. Minimize and Anon firing up on Goosey, and you've got Anon and Francis moving in on Fico and Benny and stuff. So I think this is going to be a real battle of the Titans, and there's going to be a lot of range being used here.
Who do you favour, Cap, here? Who do you favour?
Look, I think Goosey have a better position. I think Anon and Endgame are doing a really good job to split their teams and fight on 2 fronts. But honestly, I think probably Anon. I like their position. I do think that Benelmy's is a little bit better. But, I mean, look at this circle now, mate. They're all going to have to move in, and they're all working with really crappy terrain.
It is open ground. This is going to be on here. I think that if you've got frag grenades here, this could really be pivotal. You can see some coming out already.
Bellamy going down. Bellamy going down to Minimize with the... is it the Kar98K?
Oh, gee, what has he got there? Yeah, I think you're right, mate. So that is one of the... Yeah, it is. That is the standard sniper rifle that you can pick up.
Fico taking down Bellamy as well. It does look like Bellamy and Goosey... well, I think Bellamy's gone down now. So Bellamy's team are not looking too good, mate. On their last legs.
No.
Goosey trying really hard.
Gee, I thought they were going to be fantastic. So
I'll tell you what though, Grizz, at this point, you never know. If Goosey plays it really slow, he might be able to make advantage of the blue and grey team.
Well, I mean, he's got plenty of healing there. He's got plenty of healing. He's got plenty of grenades. He's looking all right. He's got a kill under his belt.
He could sweep in at the last minute, Grizz. Just good. Bang. See you later. He's smoking it up.
You do see smokes coming out. They know that there is not much cover in this area. You need to make sure that people do not see your rotations. Once the squad gets hold of you, Goosey is on his own. He knows he needs to be in cover.
But he's also seen where the grey team is, so he knows which directions he needs to be covering himself.
Goosey's gone. Fantastic sniper with the Kar98 there.
Francis and the boys exchanging fire with Benny and his lads. I think that...
Now, this is a battle for the ages. This is the top 2. Note that these guys were in the top 5 for the solos. Minimize and his guys. X-Lob had a banger. Benny had a banger. So this is going to be a battle of the Titans here, Cap.
Yeah, 100%. You can see them moving in a little bit more. I think Anon looks like they're struggling with their terrain a little bit, but they are using the smokes to their advantage, which is really good. Oh, here we go. A little bit of a firefight
happening. Shots are coming out.
So
so Anon's kind of found a little position behind a car there.
Yeah.
He's putting some heat on. He's putting some heat on.
See, if I was Benny and the boys, I'd be looking at trying to use that car to my advantage.
He is tagged up hard. Is X-Lob down? Oh, he is on a
very lucky.
Absolute minimal. You see him heal up here. Well, he's only got 8 meds left, Cap, so he has chewed through his meds a fair bit. No stimulants left, no nades.
Yeah. He's going to make do with what he has. But he should be okay there as long as he doesn't receive a grenade or something.
Oh my god, this is on. There is no terrain here.
Yeah, it's a very difficult position.
So Minimise does have a fantastic long-range weapon in the car. He's going to be able to really put some shots on these guys if they're out of cover.
Yep, Annan and the boys really making the best of their smokes. Slob trying to heal up, and he's got Endgame coming in from the left, and I don't think he has any idea.
Now, this is it now.
Endgame goes down.
Oh my goodness.
Unable to make the most of the surprise attack. It does seem like Slob is just...
Uh-oh, Cap. This is in dangerous shoe-eating territory right here, my friend.
Oh, goodness gracious me. I do feel sorry for Grizzly's shoes right now. They started life out well, but they're not going to be ending well. Annan pushing up.
Come on, Benny, my boy. You got this, mate.
He's got...
there, winner with it, and there you're right. There you're
wonderful,
right.
Wonderful
look
game.
At that. 9 kills.
Yeah, that's an incredible effort from Francis and the boys.
Oh, absolutely amazing.
I just think they played everything really well from start to finish.
They did.
You know, finding that position and remobilising towards the end when there was just too many people in that small area. Yeah. Remobilising to the southern edge with their cars and just moving in slowly, making the best of their positions, pulling some people out.
So I think that early zone control was pivotal. We saw this from Annan. He won the solos, mate. He knows exactly what he's doing with the circle. To just be able to control the high ground and control the circle and, like we talked about earlier, really be a gatekeeper. Catch those teams when they're moving in. You look at the high kills on their team. Have a look at them. 5 kills on Annan. 1 kill on Minimise, 3 on Francis. That's huge.
Yeah, they really took a large chunk of the casualties there. I mean, Benny and the boys didn't do too bad. Benny leading with 4 kills there. So I mean, he's second on the leaderboard for kills. You know, that team did pretty well too.
Yeah,
I think they did a really good job as well, moving through and being able to. You know, I think what I really liked about what Benny did is that split. Yeah, they had the guys move north.
Oh, that was
Benny
great.
stuck behind. He was able to sort of catch that green team off guard. And it worked really well with him. I thought it was going to be end in tears.
You know what, Cap? I reckon that was my play of the day because I questioned that he was out of position there.
Yep.
And what he actually did is he stayed silent as a mouse. I don't even know if they knew he was there.
Yeah.
They saw the rest of the team that were to the north and were like, okay, well, we've got a safe space to move to the north now. And Benny just copped 2 guys before they even knew what was going on.
He was able to really make use of that final blue zone push. And as those guys were moving in, you know, he just sat tight. Bang, 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 call in the cavalry, they take the fire for a bit, and he just ends it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just want to point out, guys, that this is the qualifying matches. We have one more qualifying round this afternoon. If you have a squad that you want to still get in, there's still a chance. I want to point out that the finals is tonight. It will not be televised on Twitch, but if you want to catch up on all the action, the video recordings will be saved and uploaded at a later date.
Yep, you might even see it at the next RFLAN as a little bit of a highlight reel, perhaps, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there you go.
We do have those. It is happening. We have the technology, Grizz.
We have a technology. Now, I believe I'll be hanging around, casting everything from the duos. I think, Cap, are you off for now? Do you know what's happening?
I'm not too sure on what the schedulisation is at the moment, Grizz. But it does seem that we will be going through to a few adverts very soon. But I'll be sticking around for the fortnight very soon. So I'll be back eventually. So stick around. Are we sort of, ready to...
So unluckily for you guys, you're stuck with me for at least another half an hour. We're covering the PUBG, so I apologise for that. But it's been a pleasure. I've been loved hanging with you. We'll see you. We might go to some quick other things for a little bit, and we'll be back with everything from the duos in a tick.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care.